Hello, welcome everyone to Work Smarter, Not Harder, RepSpark Retailer 101, and new brand meet and greet. My name's Claire Nash, and I'm a Senior Account Manager here at RepSpark. Today, we're going to bring you 3 videos. The first video will be a review, as always, that we like to show you of the RepSpark community and how to shop new, trending, and featured brands. Next, we'll be sharing how to place a single catalog order or a single order from a catalog. And then the third video will be a walkthrough on multi-date catalog ordering. But before we go into the Retailer 101 portion, let's meet one of our new brands. We have Jeff Gage with Izzo Golf here to give us a short presentation. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Claire, how are you?
I am great.
I'm
We're
looking
happy to
forward
have
to,
you today.
yeah, thanks for having us. Welcome. I'm pleased to be here to introduce our brand. For those of you that are not familiar with Izzo, we've been around for 40 years, so I'm sure some of you are familiar. We are new to the RepSpark platform. This is our first real golf season. Being visible on the platform. Since we went live over Q4, we received many connection requests, so thank you all. So I'll give you kind of just a real quick history on Izzo. Let me introduce myself first. Jeff Gage, I'm an Executive Vice President for Global Sales. We do sell globally. And we are a major supplier strategically here in the U.S. to all the larger sporting goods and golf specialty retailers. But we've had a presence certainly in the green grass, resort, off-course space for 40 years. And historically, mainly our stuff has been sold through an independent independent sales rep network across the country. And we do have reps out in the field today. They all have geographic territories, but like I said, we're new to the RepSpark platform, and we're very pleased with our experience so far. Let me share my screen. I have a PowerPoint here. Okay, if I can figure this out. Here we go. Okay, I hope everyone can see that. So again, let me clarify something up front. So Izzo Golf, that's our brand. We are also a licensee of Callaway Golf. Everyone, I'm sure, is very familiar with Callaway. So please understand that we're Izzo Golf, but we're also a global licensee for Callaway. So we sell under both brands. Just a little background. Izzo was founded in 1991. And really it all started with the invention of the dual strap carrying system. And for those, I'm sure everyone familiar with golf, it's hard to believe that before 1991, if you played golf and carried your clubs over 18 holes, you carried, 40 plus pounds of golf clubs in a golf bag. You carried using a single strap, and which of course is not the optimal way to carry golf clubs. And a gentleman named TJ Izzo, go figure, who was an avid golfer and engineer by day, had back issues, loved carrying when he played, and he actually designed the first dual strap system. Which of course, fast forward 40 years, you really can't find a stand bag out there without a dual strap. So he patented the design. It was a utility patent that was a global patent. And so for the first, say, 8 years of our existence, Izzo was a golf bag company, leveraging the huge success of the dual strap carrying system. In fact, in 1992, it was the product of the year at that PGA show. And then, of course, soon after the dual strap was invented, Sun Mountain invented the actual kickstand, which, of course, again, is really what the modern carry bag looks like today. So that's where the company started. And the current owner bought Izzo Golf in 1999. And at the same time, the industry was very fragmented at the time. So at that time, he bought a couple other golf companies, a couple other golf accessory companies, a couple golf training companies, and he rolled them all up under the Izzo brand. So since 1991, and as we sit here today, we are the largest golf accessory manufacturer in the world. Obviously, a huge presence here in the U.S., but we also sell across the world through distributors. And of course, golf is very much a global game these days. I mentioned Callaway earlier. We entered into a global licensing relationship with Callaway in 2007. And of course, 18 years later, that relationship is going very strong. And of course, Callaway arguably is the number 1 brand in golf, so that's been very successful for us. We tend to position the Callaway and Izzo brands it's kind of a price point play. So Callaway obviously being more of a premium brand, and then Izzo being more of an opening price point brand. And that's kind of how we position the brand or the brands. We are a strategic, we've been a long time strategic supplier to the largest sporting goods retailers. This includes Dick's Sporting Goods, Amazon, Target, Walmart, PGA Tour Superstores, etc. And of course, we've had a green grass presence, since over 40 years. So what do we do? It's hard for me to go into all the different products we do because we have so many. We have 500 plus SKUs. Frankly, we probably have 1,000 SKUs. But let me focus more on kind of the types of things we do. And certainly I've had this conversation with RepSpark in the past. I mean, historically, what you find as far as brands on the RepSpark platform today, you'll see a lot of soft goods, apparel brands. That's kind of where RepSpark started. And certainly over the last couple of years, they've started to kind of extend into more the hard good world. So we're going to bring products to the RepSpark platform that you probably haven't seen before. And it's kind of a one-stop shop for golf accessories. Now, what are golf accessories? A very ambiguous category, but our catalog is basically made up of the following subcategories within the accessory world. So on-course accessories, this would be like ball markers, tees, etc. Training aids, hitting nets and hitting mats, golf technology, so rangefinders, launch monitors, golf games. This is games are very popular within it's a great way to teach your kids how to play, etc. Golf gifts, golf, certainly for the avid golfer in your life. My kids every Father's Day have given me a golf gift, whether it's a box of balls or something else. So we have an extensive golf gift category. Of course, that allows us to play in the tee gift world as well. And then eyewear. Okay, so those are the categories we serve. Just to kind of give you a couple images here. So this, going through those subcategories. So accessories, like I'm showing here, head covers, push carts, umbrellas, club brushes, etc. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for all your accessory needs. Again, sold under both brands, Izzo and Callaway. And the way we position both brands, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a good, better, best price point thing. So, the Callaway brand allows you to drive up average retails, sell, similar type products under more of a premium, or certainly higher retail prices. And then we have training aids. So we are the #1 seller of training aids. Under the Izzo, Callaway, and Odyssey brands. Of course, Odyssey is part of Callaway. Hitting nets and hitting mats. So again, for those who want to bring practice to their home, create a home range, so to speak, whether it's setting up a net in their backyard, I live in New York, so certainly during the off season, I have a net in my garage so that I can kind of, keep tuning my swing during the winter months. So we have, many offerings in this space. Technology, rangefinders, laser rangefinders, golf GPS rangefinders, and launch monitors. Gifts. So, golf gifts are very popular, certainly seasonally, very popular over Q4, obviously popular over Father's Day. It's one, golf gifts is one of the most searched, keyword searches, around the May time period, June for Father's Day. So what we did, especially with the Callaway brand, is we created bundles. So we have these gift sets that are created. And not only do they offer bundled value, so you can see, we take an anchor item, like a Tervis type tumbler or a Yeti type tumbler, and then we include with it or inside it, various golf accessories, on-course accessories, divot tools, tees, alignment tools, brushes, etc. And then we put them in a nice package, so it's also presentable as a gift, or in many cases wrappable. We have a line of drinkware, Callaway branded drinkware that can, an event logo or a custom logo can be etched onto the glass. So great tee gift, for various tournaments. Coolers, accessory kits, club brushes, etc. So we have a plethora of gift related items, which again very popular in the tee gift world. We do a lot in the professional tour world for pro-ams, with our gifts, many times co-branded with Callaway. Golf games. So whether it's in your backyard, tailgating at the beach, etc., we have a catalog of golf games to, have fun, whether it's with your kids, you have a party in the backyard, etc. And then Callaway eyewear. So we have our license with Callaway extends to eyewear. And this is golf. Our Callaway sunglasses, we call it sun gear. Our lenses, our glasses were designed specifically for golf. They're designed actually, believe it or not, to let more light in. It's just about letting the right light in. And our lenses, again, are designed specifically for being on the golf course, helping with depth, helping read greens, etc. We also have scorecard readers, which are very popular. So that's kind of a quick snapshot of the things we do. I did not want to spend a lot of time on, products, but we're very happy to be on the RepSpark platform. If you haven't connected with us yet, we hope you do so. And then you'll see more extensive catalogs on the platform. And, we look forward to increased visibility on the RepSpark platform.
Thank you so much, Jeff. That was very informative. And if you have any questions for Jeff, he is going to stick around for our live Q&A. So thank you so much. We have our second brand here today. We have a great brand by the name of Jay Pritchard, and we have Kyle Rhodes here. Hi, Kyle. Go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience.
Yeah, hi, thanks for having me. I'm excited to introduce the brand to you guys. It's a younger brand, so you may not be familiar with it, but it's pretty unique in the space. It's called Jay Pritchard because we're partnered with the founding family of pickleball. The Pritchard family, they invented the sport back in 1965, and we kind of own the heritage and nostalgia of the sport. And when the sport kind of blew up during the pandemic, as everybody knows, it was like the perfect storm for pickleball to kind of incubate. Everyone kind of rushed to market with these really low-end products like dancing pickles on graphic tees and stuff like that. And the inspiration for the brand is really trying to bring that same sophistication and elevation from the golf world over to the court side at these country clubs, because as I'm sure everyone on this call knows, tennis is being converted to pickleball, and many times it's like the farthest tennis court at the end of the parking lot, and it kind of doesn't align with the rest of what the club's doing. So we've been able to come in and really offer this experience on the court side that's unmatched through the authenticity of what we do. One of our designers was the original Viore designer. So the product is extremely well made, but really the important thing is the story. So we kind of do that through these original family photos of, let me share my screen real quick so everyone can see. So these are some of those original family photos. That's Joel Pritchard there and his son, Frank. Frank is about 72 years old now, and he's the surviving member of the family with no kids. So this is truly kind of the legacy of the family. This is Steve and Darren Gable. They're the founders of the sport, and they kind of discovered the sport in this country club environment. And we're looking around and going, man, there's so many kind of high net worth people that love this sport, and there's really no brand that speaks to them. So how do we go and build this in an authentic way? And they left Frank a voicemail on his answering machine on his home phone, and he just kind of ignored it. And then they wrote him a handwritten letter, and he's like, all right, these guys aren't going away. If you want to come, fly up to Seattle, 3 hours over to Yakima, then feel free. And they just ended up hitting it off. And he never thought that they would license out the family name to anybody, but it just felt right. And he had really two asks of us. It was to keep the brand elevated and make sure his mom gets credit for naming the sport. So one kind of thing that's like this story that's just really prevalent out there on the internet is that the sport was named after their pet dog, Pickles. And that's not true. Pickles actually came 3 years later and was named after the sport. The sport was actually named after a pickle boat and crew racing. So it's kind of in that boys in the boat era of 1965, where University of Washington would race around Bainbridge Island. His wife, Joanne, used to love watching that crew racing. And in crew racing, there's an A boat and there's a B boat. And then the leftover rowers rowed what was in the pickle boat. And her thinking was, you guys are kind of pulling from this sport and that sport and just kind of putting it all together. It's kind of the leftovers of all these sports. You should call it pickleball. And that just kind of stuck with everybody. So I've been in this industry for a long time, and I come from Travis Matthew and was a buyer for Nordstrom. And I've never seen like the level of customer engagement as I have with this brand. Like when you get into the story and the history, I mean, you just see their eyes light up and they don't even know what you're selling yet. And they're just kind of totally bought in. So to what we're selling, a little bit more on the branding before we get to that. So we have some pretty cool elements to our logo that kind of tells the story of how pickleball was invented. So the first element is this golf ball on the tee. The story goes, Joel Pritchard was coming home from a round of golf. His son, Frank, was 13 years old and just bored on Bainbridge Island. All his friends were in Seattle. And he's like, Dad, I'm so bored. I hate it here. And Joel goes, we used to make up games when I was a kid. And Frank goes, all right, Dad, we'll make up a game then. And he kind of took it as a challenge and found a wiffle ball lying around, carved out this crude wooden paddle and started making up rules. And then neighbors got involved, and it just became this whole kind of social element on the island. So if you separate the logo here, that's JNP to represent both Joel and his wife, Joanne Pritchard, who named it. If you flip it upside down, that is shape of a pickleboat oar, which also inspired the shape of the original paddle. So that's actually the shape of the original paddle. We have one at the office. It's like pretty crazy to see. It's just a chunk of plywood essentially. And then everything together is our logo. So this kind of gives you an idea of the aesthetic of the brand. It's very clean, very Americana, kind of modern meets classic. And then we have a paddle as well. So we've only been around for about maybe a little over a year. And we've had an incredible first year just because we've been able to align and plug in so well with what these high-end clubs and resorts are doing. We've honestly said no more than we've said yes, just because we want to keep that brand in the premium space to start out and really make sure that we're hitting that high-end market. But the brand has actually gone so well in our first year that we just opened our first retail store at Fashion Island, which was not in our plan whatsoever. But they actually reached out to us and said, we really want to be the home of your first retail store. So what do we have to do to make this happen? So I am actually on my way there in about 10 minutes, but I'm happy to be able to jump on and present the brand to you all. I invite you all to come check it out further. And maybe, I'm happy to jump on with any of you and discuss the brand more. I know we have limited time here and I could talk about the brand for hours. But RepSpark has been an incredible partner for us, an incredible platform, has really enabled us as a young brand to scale pretty quickly. So I appreciate you guys.
Thanks so much, Kyle. And, I call Fashion Island the happiest place on earth. So luckily I live close by, so I will stop by. I had no idea you opened a store there, so I'm very excited
Oh,
to
excellent.
see all of your products in person. So we will be having a live Q&A after the videos. Kyle might stick around. I know Jeff will. But now let's jump into our workshop that's designed to help you with the basics, what we call Retailer 101. So, and then like I said, after the short video presentation, which there will be 3 today, we will have our Q&A session. So we look forward to answering all your questions.
Hello, welcome to RepSpark. Today we're going to talk all things about being a retailer on RepSpark. And we're going to start with our RepSpark community. So if you have an account already with RepSpark as a retailer, all you have to do is click the login button. But if you don't, just simply click to the retailer tab, and then you have the option right here to click create your free retailer account. But for today's example, I'm just going to go ahead and log in. And as a retailer, here is my buying account. I already have my email of my store and my password. And all I have to do is sign in. And again, if you forgot your password or if you're not yet a customer, just sign up right there. So I'm going to click and sign in. I am immediately brought to my retailer dashboard. So now in the community, a few things to note. So this is my profile of the little person right here, and I can see my name, and I can see stores that I've already been approved at. But what we're looking at right now, again, is our retailer dashboard. So we're going to see our featured brands, new brands, and then all of our order history right here from any brand site-wide that I've placed an order with. So this is just one view you have on the community, but what we're going to do today is review all you can see. So another thing to do is go to the My Brands tab. Now what this is all of these brands have already approved myself to be a buyer. So these are the brands that I've been approved at, and I already can start shopping. All I have to do is click the shop button. But if I go down here, I see pending brands. These are brands that I've asked for approval, but they have not approved me yet. And all I have to do is click the send remind button, and they will get a notice that I want to be added. So just remember, if you want to be added to their site, just send them a reminder. And these are the brands that have not approved me yet. So that's why they're pending. But all of these brands have already approved me as a registered buyer. So next I'm going to show you, this is just a fun category of new brands. And you'll notice that the new brands right here, when you see green, this means I'm not approved yet. So it says connect. Next, we're going to go to trending, just another fun category. And then we can also go to all brands. But what I'm going to do is go to the RepSpark main page. So now this is just a great place where you can check out new brands and ask to connect. So for example, this is a new brand called Len Lifestyles. All I have to do is click the connect button. And this is an optional customer code, and just send request. So now Len Lifestyles has been notified that I would like to shop their site, and it's pending. And as soon as I've been approved, they will end up in my new brand section. Another thing to note is when you do work with brands, and let's say, oh, it's been a week, they haven't accepted me, always look, if you look very closely on the right corner of every brand, there's 3 dots. Often they have a contact information. So for this brand, they have their contact right here, and you can send them a direct email. directly from RepSpark. So this is just a great way to shop our community, check out new brands, and see what brands have not approved you yet that you're waiting on, and then connect with new brands. So please enjoy our RepSpark community. Today we're going to be reviewing how to place an order from a catalog. I have already logged in with my buying account to RepSpark, and you can log in via one specific brand's URL or through our community tab right here. So I'm logged on to the brand I'd like to shop, and I'm going to click Catalogs and Assortments. And I'm going to look at all the catalogs I have available, and I'm going to choose this catalog right here. So once you see the catalog, you can skip all the way to the back, or you can look page by page. Every brand is different, and you'll see different options. So for this order, I see lots of great suits, and I'm going to go ahead and click Start Order. So now I have an option to set up my bag. How would I like to do it? I can either place a multi-date order or a single order. So for today, let's just place a single order. And as I said, all brands are different. So for this specific brand, they've asked me to select an inventory location, which I have, and I'm going to start my shopping bag. So now what we can do is add each individual item by using the shopping bag button and clicking the little button right there, or we can click into the product. So let's look at this bikini bottom right here. I can click into it and add my quantity right here and add to my cart, or I can just add it already in the cart view. So let's click 4444 and add to cart, and then I'm just going to X out. So now I can continue shopping. I can go to the next pages. I can shop even in the larger images and click into a product. But today I'm just going to go ahead and check out and look at my cart. So I do have the option. It says forget something, and I can still continue shopping. But today I'm just going to go ahead and create my order. And now from here, I'm going to be redirected to my order header, which you all might be familiar with of placing an order. And let's see my required field. So I need to enter a PO. So I am going to say test catalog order and click save. Now let's look in my cart. If you remember, we only added quantities for this item in the catalog. So now I need to go back and add my quantities. I can click right into the box. We have other features where you can copy so you don't have to manually change the quantity. And if you see, it says copy all, same class, or selected. So let's do copy all. And now all of my products have quantity in them. So as you see, I have no validation errors, and I can go ahead and check out. And now I am on my review page, and I can see everything I need. And from here, if I need to, I can email this, export it to an Excel, PDF, anything I need from here with all of my information. I'm going to go ahead and check out, process my order. And now my order is complete and viewable in the My Orders tab. In this next video, we're going to be placing a multi-date order through a catalog. So I'm already logged in, and I'm going to go ahead and select the catalog that I would like to order from. And as you saw in the previous video, you click the Start Order button, and from here, we're going to select multi-date. So please note, we do have to enter a order name. So I'm going to say winter 1, and then I'm going to start creating my dates. So for this one, let's go with November 1st. And with my second order, I'm going to add December 1st. And as I said before, all brands are different. This brand asks for an inventory location, and I've selected California. So let's start shopping and start filling our cart. So I am going to just jump into the catalog and start adding things to my shopping bag. So as you notice, when you click the small shopping bag, instead of the item going directly into the cart, you're now given 2 dates. So let's add this suit to my 11/1 date, and let's jump over to this one and do 12/1. And now for the bikini top right here, let's add this to 11/1. So now we have 2 different orders going at one time from one specific catalog. So let's go into the cart and see what that looks like. And now you see what we have is our merch view. So we have 2 different order dates, 2 different orders started, and we didn't add quantity if you recall, so we can do that in the cart view. But what I wanted to show you now is this column right here. So in the far left column that says products, these are all of the items in that in-season collection catalog that we were viewing from. So what we can do is add additional items to my order. We could even add a 3rd order date. Let's say we wanted to add January 1. But for now, let's just add additional items to one of our orders. So let's look at this one right here. I'm going to click the check mark. And as you see, it immediately added this button, and it says add products to orders. So I'm going to select my December 1 date. And if you notice, it always says the day before. So let's add that. And now we have 2 orders going. So from here, we also can add our quantity like we did in the previous video. Let's add our quantity really quick and update. And you can even delete items, but let's go ahead and finish our quantity for this particular order. Update. So now we have a November 1 order and a December order. Please, I encourage you to play around because you can click buttons to zoom in. There's a few different things you can do, but for now, let's just go ahead and process the order. So these 3 buttons right here, you'll see that we can open our cart, we can clone the order, or we can delete. So let's go ahead and open my cart. And as you see, we're now in a new window and we are in the cart view. But we do have to edit our cart because this is now a pre-book order. So let's go into the enter order details. And actually, before I do that, always click action required and it'll tell you what you need to fix. So let's go into the enter order details and we are going to change this order from at once to pre-book. And we also need to enter a PO. So let's call this PO Winter 1 and then click Save. And I want to note really quick, so now you see this looks like a normal order. We could continue shopping, but if we wanted to go back into that merch view, we could. So we could go back into the merch view and see the multi-date order we had from the catalog and continue adding from this catalog. But let's go ahead and check out, open the cart. We have, let's see what we need to do now. Oh, this was the other cart. So let's quickly add our quantities. And our order type, which was pre-book. And let's do Winter 2, and click Save. So now let's go ahead and check out. We are going to check out, and you might be wondering, how can I view my last order? What you're going to do is go into the My Orders tab, and you can see the order you started. So let's go into that order, and we have my Winter 1 right here. So this is the cart view. And again, we could go back into that merch view, but we've already checked out. So let's go ahead and open this cart. We have already updated the order type, added the quantity, and we can go ahead and check out. So this is an option for multi-date ordering from catalogs. There's lots of options. You can absolutely go into the My Order tab and see all of your orders, edit your orders, and just do what works best for you as a buyer. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoyed those videos today, reviewing the community and how to request brands, as well as placing orders within catalogs. We encourage you to check all brands to see if they have catalogs. So we are going to wait a few minutes. I don't see any questions popping up, but as always, we will wait. If you have any questions about RepSpark, if you have any questions about Izzo and the presentation, or Jay Pritchard, the pickleball brand we just heard from. So let's just wait a minute. But we will be sending you a recording of today's workshop today and instructions on how to access additional resources on RepSpark. We also have all of these videos on our YouTube channel for quick reference for you and your team. And as always, please scan the QR code and let us know of additional topics you would like covered. We love to hear from our retailers. That's where we get our best feedback and information of what you're looking for, what you're learning to grow, and just general feedback. So we hope to see you at next month's webinar. And let's see if there are any final questions. We can wait a second, but I don't see any. Usually they pop up by now. But again, we want to thank our two brands for joining us today. And thank you for watching our Work Harder, Not Smarter webinar. So have a great rest of your day. We do have a question. I'm having trouble in RepSpark behind the scenes. So I don't know exactly what that means, but we would love to help you. We also have a dedicated support team. So I think you said, can I speak with someone directly? Our email for support is support@repspark.com. They work 8 a.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. The best way to do that is to email them directly. We also have a chat bot that you can see at the bottom of your screen, and they will direct you to someone. I personally recommend sending a support email. Include as many details as you can. If you're having login issues, if you're having brand issues, please give them as much information and also include screenshots. The more information you give our support team, the faster they can resolve them. So I think, Steve, that is a great comment. He said he placed a Peter Millar order while watching. I love to hear that. And Peter Millar has beautiful, beautiful catalogs. we highly recommend, and I know that Peter Millar really encourages their retailers to use catalog ordering. So that is great to hear. Any other questions coming through? And I see that Reagan did write support@repspark.com in the chat. So please reach out. We always want you to get service fast. And you can even request a callback with the support email. So I think that might be it for today. I don't see any other questions coming through. Let's see. All right, well, we are going to end today's webinar. Have a great month. Happy spring, and we will see you in May.